Directors gets racist.
I was voting at some board I was on, and someone finally told me after a year or so, you don't actually have a vote here. You just observe things. Oh, okay. I'll keep my hand down.
Well, I'm going to ask you to all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we can call the meeting to order. Minutes, Resolution 26123, to accept the minutes from the meeting of June 17th, 2026 and July 1st, 2026.
So moved.
Did we need to table that?
So what I'll take is a motion and a second for July 1st. We still don't have the necessary people to approve the June 17th meeting.
Okay.
So I'll make that note in the minutes.
So we will just have the motion for just July 1st.
Yep.
Yes. So moved.
Second, okay. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? I see the hand is up. Thank you, Joel. And that passes. Now we're at public comment. To allow members of the public to comment or reserve time to speak on an upcoming agenda item. This has nothing to do with the public hearing, but if you do want to speak to anything else on the agenda, such as the ATV snowmobile trails in Lexington, Concord, this is a good time to say, yes, I want to speak. Otherwise, we'll skip over you when that time comes. Is there anybody who is interested in any other agenda items other than the workshop, the public hearing? Seeing none, we are good. And now we have a public hearing to hear comments on the request to open the portion of Hancock Pond Road under county jurisdiction to ATV access. And if you would come up to this table over here, this gentleman is going to start us off, I believe, on the affirmative side. We'll start with the affirmative, we'll go to the negative, and then we'll go to the neither for nor against.
Right. Thank you. My name is George Arab. The letter that originally came to you came from me. Thank you for the map thing. We're talking about a section of Hancock Pond Road that's bordered with Emden. Emden borders both sides of that road. It's about a 1.5 mile strip of road. It's somewhat unimproved. It doesn't get plowed in the winter. It's an unmaintained road. And it's not really graded or raked anymore either, so it's got some pothole issues around there, but I'm not here to complain about that. I'm just giving you an idea of the condition of the road we're talking about. It's kind of a rough road. As I said, Emden is on both sides. Prior to it, from New Portland side, Emden has that, and then it's Emden and actually private road below the big hill that goes down. There's like a 90-degree turn, goes down a steep hill, and that becomes Emden again. And there's only one year-round residence that lives on that section of road about the first quarter of a mile in. Her name is Courtney and Johnny Rogashoff, and they do not have any opposition whatsoever about ATVs as they use them themselves. So there's the only house, technically the only year-round residence that's on that road. There's another home in there, but it's more of a summer use type of thing, and I've never met the guy that owns it. There is no ATV trail access to this section of road, so it's not like we're extending other ATVs to be able to use this road. We're only using this road for people that actually, there's people that have family and friends and relatives on both sides of Hancock Pond, off the 2nd Street, Forest Drive side. And on the other side, it's dead end down into Raymond Road and down along the shoreline. And a lot of these people have family and friends on both sides of the lake, and you know, in the summer you tool around back and forth to visit your family, visit your friends. I personally happen to maintain the cemetery up there in Lexington, the old what's the name of it? Knowles Family Cemetery, and I like to use my UTV to be able to put some of my blowing equipment or weed whacking equipment in there and go out to that cemetery to maintain it. There's two other roads that intersect it, which is Woods Road and Walker Road. Those are roads. We're not here to discuss those roads at all. Those are all private for people that have land down in those roads at all. They're not anything that's maintained by the town or anything like that, or the county. There's many properties and many property owners on Hancock Pond that don't have ATVs or quads. They may sometime in the future. My guess is there's probably 24 families that maybe have ATVs or quads that want to use this to go around, and you hardly ever see anybody on the road. I mean, a little bit more traffic right now in the summer, but for the rest of the year, there's hardly anybody there. So I personally was shocked when I had a game warden pull me over. You know, I was driving on that road. I was literally maybe 100 feet onto the Lexington side going to maintain the cemetery, and the game warden pulls up and pulls me over and gives me a speaking to about the fact that that road is not allowed for ATV access. And I explained to him, I said, well, right here in Emden I can, and right over there on Emden I can. He goes, well, not right here. I'm like, really? I mean, just to say it, isn't there something better to do? But that's the way I looked at it. So those are my comments. Thank you for listening.
Let me ask you a question. You said that there was a 90-degree turn there. To me, that comes to a hairpin turn. On making those turns, what type of danger does it pose, or what?
The first turn where Walker Road is not really that 90 degree. It's kind of a sloping. It's an S turn. Very wide there. It's a really wide section of road there, and that's not really a problem. As you go down Hancock Pond Road further, it makes a right-hand turn where Woods Road is.
Yeah.
It goes down a steep hill there. We call it Tobacco Hill Road. That's just a nickname that it's had over the years. That's kind of a sharp turn, but I mean, everybody knows about it. Whether you're either coming up the hill or you're going around, you got to slow down to a slow time to make that turn.
Yeah, I just was wondering what kind of danger that would possess, or what kind of damage would happen to that road there. That
Sightlines are good, Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good solid gravel road. There's good fill on there. The only place the road gets funky is where really was the private sections way down below. I mean, we maintain that ourselves. We all pay money to maintain those roads, but gravel and stuff like that. But that's it.
Do you have any questions for this gentleman?
Not for this gentleman, no.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we're all set. Thank you.
I'm all set, thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak in the affirmative? Please do.
My name is Mike Kelly. I own a property off of Walker Road, 124 acres, and I have a camp over on the pond. And I would like access to get my equipment to take care of my wood cutting and my field cutting, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm for it.
Okay, thank you. Questions?
Since nobody else is going to get up and speak, I'll give my 2 cents. My family has had a camp on the lake for a while.
Oh, could you speak your name and where you live, please?
Tom Garbarino. I'm sorry. My family's been on the camp, on the lake, for 5 generations now. And when I tell you, each of those generations loves the place. We wouldn't endorse anything that would be to the detriment of the place that we all love. I don't see any people jumping up to oppose what we're proposing. I know there are a number of other people on the lake who would be here endorsing the affirmative, but they're not here. I don't know of anybody who would complain about it. And again, we all love the place. We want to protect it. We want our families and kids to go home safely. We're generally responsible, generally. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. And I did see another person stand, if they wanted to.
Hi, my name is Gene Mott. I've been on the lake for over 50 years, and I've used my ATVs all the time. I own property in town in New Portland, and I have equipment there that I bring down to the lake back and forth. Unfortunately, there are some people that tear up the roads. We try to keep a foot on that. And I've always taught my crew, my grandsons, my son-in-laws, and my daughters to ride safely, be respectful, give a wave, slow down if you see somebody walking. And we want to use it. We want to be able to use it. I mean, it's important to us. I mean, we have all this equipment we spend a lot of money on, and we use it for work around the camps and stuff too. So this is where we see it.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Carl Seiden at 288 Forest Drive in Emden. And just wanted to offer a contrast from the prior two gentlemen. I haven't been there for 5 generations or for 50 years. We've been on Hancock Pond for 3 years. And just totally echo the feeling that everybody else has expressed. We're there because we love what it is. Part of us enjoying it is using our ATV and tooling around the entire pond. I would not advocate for anything that would be detrimental to that, and just wanted to be another voice along with my neighbors supporting this change. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anybody else for the affirmative? Seeing none?
Have a show of hands for the affirmative?
Well, no, this isn't the place for that. I'm asking now if there's anyone here who is against this proposal. And I see the hordes are coming at me.
To be honest, we could have filled up this room, but a lot of people are out of state or they're all working it right now. So I have a lot of people I talk to. I mean, I talk to a lot of people, and they're like, we'd love to go, but I don't work. I get it.
Thank you. And so seeing nobody in the negative, is there anybody who's either neither or for or against this proposal? And again, I don't see anybody jumping up. So if there's...
So, Mr. Chair, I'll just add that you have in your packets in front of you 3 emails that came in this week from people that probably couldn't attend. Karen Holbrook, Elaine Holbrook, and Catherine Renshaw. All of them speak strongly in favor.
All in favor. So,
I had a comment.
yeah.
I am fully in favor of recreational endeavors in Somerset County. I believe that is our impetus, our focus on where we should be. My only concern about this one is it isn't connecting to a trail, and are we setting precedent for other ponds and or lakes in Somerset County to want to open this avenue up? Maybe Emden, and that would be my fear, is if we start seeing a rash, if we set a precedent and we start seeing a rash of others, that would be my apprehension. I understand that this is a unique situation in a fairly desolate area, and it's not even a structured road per se, but if we get this request in Emden, and we got to go to east and west, we can't, but we also need to be cognizant of we are setting some precedents, and I just want to do it with reservation, because I want to be able to reserve that right. Scott knows very well that I will support all this. We've had very open dialogue on certain areas that are conducive to this and certain areas that aren't conducive to this. This is one that is conducive, but I just want us to do, whatever we do needs to be done with some form of reservation so that we are not necessarily setting a blanket precedent. That would be my only concern.
Sir?
Yeah, can I just, I want to address something that you just said, is I was speaking with Chuck Taylor, he's the lead selectman in Emden, and this past season, they voted to allow ATVs on all town roads except state roads. So right now in Emden, people can drive ATVs on every road as long as it's not like a highway, Route 16 or something like that. So
Crosstown Road is the only exception in Emden.
yeah, it's supposed to get state roads.
I was just using that lake, but I mean any lake up north.
I understand.
Potentially down the road, they can connect to the Emden system. So it's not per se necessarily a dead end or just like what you're saying with the pond. The first step is to get them access.
Okay.
Then we could possibly get them out of there. to be able to get to the trail, the EML trail system.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Stetkis has his hand up.
Commissioner Stetkis, Joel, please.
Thank you, Robert. So in a way, I would agree with Skillings, and I would probably put it simply that my decision today and any future decisions would be on a case-by-case basis. Just because I'm agreeing to this one doesn't mean I'm going to agree to the next one. Safety obviously is an issue, and I think in this situation, what we've heard so far, I think it will be perfectly fine.
I agree with Commissioner Stetkis.
All set?
We are good.
If there are no more comments, I'll close the public hearing. Is there any more comments?
No, but in the interest of maybe withering out the room a little, do we wish to move the resolution forward so that they don't have to sit here through this whole painful event?
You don't want to keep it in suspense?
Not painful for me. Painful for them. I love being here. I like to
Just take that item out of order of the
You making a motion to move the item?
I will second that motion.
Okay. All in favor of that motion? Okay, we're good. We will act on resolution 26-132 to allow ATV access to county portions of Hancock Pond Road in Lexington Township. Is there any discussion?
Solely that I am doing this with reservation of rights to the future of whatever. I'm going to analyze each one individually.
Joel, did you have a comment other than what you said?
No, what I said before stands.
Okay. And I'm in favor of this. I see it as, even though it seems to be an isolated or area, it's still an ATV trail, and I think it brings good to the area. So irrespective of whether it connects or not. So if there's no more comments amongst the commissioners, I'll take a vote. All in favor? And Joel? Yes, thank you, Joel. I see your hand. So that's a go. Go gas up and have a good time.
Ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is this going to be in writing somewhere so I can keep it in my ATV when that game warden wants to and I can show him
Good
this?
point, George.
Yeah, it'll be in writing. It'll be in the minutes, for one.
Okay.
And
Communicate to the game board that this is now an approved period, because if they're not aware of it,
right.
the next one.
We will have our county administrator through our sheriff make the appropriate notifications within the next week or so.
Thank you so much.
We'll have our people talk to his people.
But you know the guy, right?
Hey, you know the guy.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate hearing from you.
Thank you, George. Get this set up.
The ATV trail to nowhere.
All right, if you guys can just move into the hall. guys, into the hall. We don't get to see.
That's all right. Out, damn spot, out. You're welcome to stay right there. Yes, really. We have plenty of seats. Yeah. I'm going to move on to workshop. Gentlemen, we get you out into the hall, please. Unless you're staying for the workshop.
A couple of them are. There you go.
All right.
Do you want us to
So-
sit up here, or?
I think that'll be fine.
Right there at the table, so you can share the mic.
I'll be able to hear.
That'll be perfect. So right now, we're going to discuss workshop number 1, request for TIF funding for repairs to ATV snowmobile trails in the Lexington Concord area.
That was all the regulars straggle in. But Dave did too.
No, you stay back.
You're the money. He's the money man. We're going to keep him close.
So, commissioners, I believe we have Scott Robertson, is that
Yes.
right? And
Yep.
and Chris Martin?
No, this is Pete Hunter. Chris couldn't attend.
Oh, okay, and it's, I'm sorry, your name is Pete?
Pete Hunter, I'm with the E&L ATV Club
Okay.
out of Emden, Lexington area.
So I've been talking with Chris Martin, and Chris is with the Moose Alley ATV Club. And in addition to what's in your packets, you have something that I copied out today that includes all 3 projects that they have identified. And the map here is the location of projects 1 and projects 2 and 3. They total about $150,000 worth of trail work. By way of introduction, back in the storm at the end of 2023, the flood of December 2023, much of these trails were washed out. And through a combination of community benefit money and TIF money and other money that was raised, a lot of the trails were fixed and repaired over that period of time. And these projects have been identified, and my conversations with Chris gave me the indication that this will kind of bring everything back up to the place where it needs to be. Plus, one of the things he explained to me is that project number 1 is a priority because there's a limited window of time to get in there and do the work that needs to be done. They have the agreement from Weyerhaeuser to get in there and do this, but I believe that agreement says the work has to be done by the end of 2026, which is about 6 months, so really this summer, fall. It's 1.5 miles worth of new trail development, and again, I think the idea is to get off of the Weyerhaeuser logging road and develop some new trails that are more resilient. And then there's also some culvert work in talking about the request to come before the commissioners for some TIF dollars. The issue really boils down to the amount of money they have on hand to be able to do this right now, as opposed to waiting until they have all their money put together. This project number 1 that they're trying to get done this year is about a $60,000 project. From my talking with Chris, the ask is probably going to be something in the $40,000 range from the commissioners. And this is all in the Lexington and Concord area, with my understanding.
Pleasant Ridge to Lexington.
Yeah.
Yep. The biggest thing with this project, as you can see on the map, so with the KVT opening up down in Oakland all the way to Jackman, we are the only funnel that allows you to get west as far as ATVs. So we connect a huge portion of unorganized territory all the way from Oakland, Maine to Jackman. There is no other way to get on the other side of the Kennebec or Dead River other than to come through us and E&L. So with the KVT opening, it is a huge, huge thing, especially for Franklin County. I mean, for us too. We have all 4 points. We can go north, south, east, and west. And if we lose this connection and do not get project 1 done, there is no west. Everything Kingfield's doing right now would be all for naught, basically, because they are on an island by themselves.
Is this 1.5 miles in Somerset County?
This is.
Yes.
Yep, it's in unorganized territory in Pleasant Ridge. The new trail is what we call the Tree Stand Road. Would connect to the Spruce Pond Road, and I believe we've dumped E&L last year, put in about
24,000
into that, and it just needs more. The problem over there is logistics, really. The trucking, the equipment, it's just not an easy place to get to. But it is our only east-west connection.
How much money have you saved up for this project and have on hand at this point in time?
So we have some funds available, so it's a matter, E&L has some that they'd be willing to chip in as far as on the Spruce Pond end of it. Moose Alley can kick in some. We can get the project, I believe it's 2 or 3. The problem that lies there is over the weekend we had a pickup truck go through the bridge that's in question on that project, and I can show you pictures of that. So
The bridge is no longer in question.
so that has kind of set us back. So today is trying to figure out if there are any funds or if we have to sort of, go all in. But where we stand, I guess you would say. I hope that answers.
Did Weyerhaeuser offer any help?
So with Weyerhaeuser, they're great with us. I walked it.
No, they're a good neighbor. I was just wondering how.
So they do. So we had a landowner close the Spruce Pond Road down. They gave us a reroute. That one of those bridges fell apart too. We did put a Band-Aid on it this year to get across. It's just a hill that's in there that tends to wash out due to ATV tire tracks, and Weyerhaeuser just doesn't want the hill. So they have given us the alternate route. The thing with them is if they're not logging or if they're not working in there, they tend not to put as much money. They have given us culverts, they have given us decking boards, timbers.
Some material.
Okay.
Yep. At time to time. But again, the problem over there, I've driven every little side road, go path, probably been in places that I shouldn't have been with my pickup, and there's just no gravel over there.
Well,
So to truck it, it's either going to come out of Mike Merrill or Daryl Partridge. And the reason for that is Noon's on the other side, yep. It's just trying to keep it less expensive by the closest pit. It's not personal preference, it's just logistics. Trucking is the cost.
what is your ask of us?
I mean, we're asking 60 total. If that's not possible, then, we realize that we have asked for quite a bit. We realize that, like Tim said, after, the devastating floods and stuff, there's probably not a lot of FEMA money and everything. We're just trying to see what we can get and what we'd have to kick in, I guess.
I'm going to start with Joel. Do you have any comments?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
Patrick, can you give me the numbers? Where are we at? How much do we got? What can we give away? Christian, do we have any money on the other side of this?
So this would be in the unorganized territory, which would be in TIF eligible expense.
Yeah.
One account that has about $700,000 in TIF, you have another that has $580,000.
That's not called for.
That's not already accounted.
All right, not on any other projects. So 750 and
750 and 500.
So you can look at this two ways of, in the past, we used to blend what accounts, what came from what account. So, this probably could qualify for community benefit and TIF. The community benefit program has been revised, so we have the timing now. But I look at this club, very well organized. They constantly have landowner relation issues. But I view a lot of the southern clubs as kind of the gatekeepers to the rest of the county, and I think in my personal experiences, keep these clubs healthy, vibrant, open, to get people north to some of the other trail systems. So I think this is a pretty critical project. Speaking of Chris, he'll have you on the phone for 2 hours if you let him. Speak with all the clubs, they rifle off, this road and that, and after 4,000 miles, I get them all mixed up. But, very heavy volunteer driven, and, if SCDC has any funds available, is that where you were looking at, Don?
yeah.
We do. It would be a board decision. But we've also, it has to be within the corridor section, but we can actually do a line of credit with another club at 0%. So it's really a cash balance issue of getting reimbursed from the state. Sometimes it's 30 days, sometimes it's 90. But I was going to speak to you all later about a line of credit potential. I think grant funds make sense in this, but it's kind of long.
Will the state make up any of this mile and a half?
So we do have money as far as Moose Alley, and like I said, Pete does have some that they're kind of earmarked for that Spruce Pond. That doesn't necessarily, it does connect to this first project, but not the new trail. So the problem that lies with the trail that Weyerhaeuser is going to give us is it goes up at like 6 hills. So it goes up the hill, flattens out, it just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing. So in order to do it and do the project right, you got to put water bars in, 2 to 4 inch rock on the bottom, build the base. There's quite a fair amount of culverts. There's no ditches. There's no brushing. It will also not only benefit ATVs, but that was the snowmobile trail last year. And the problem with the snowmobile end of it was they couldn't get a groomer through it. So they had to groom to that spot, take a snowmobile, hook a tow behind drag, and just drag that little part because there's no groomer. So it is a multi-use trail. And if we can get the funds, it would significantly improve that trail also for snowmobile. Absolutely. Also for ATV.
That was my.
And when I walked with Trish Thursday with the state through that section, they have no plans of even logging in there for probably at least 10 years. And that trail wouldn't be touched either way. It would be red pine stand on the right-hand side. So they wouldn't even come up to that trail. Everything to the left of it, I think.
So the investment's going to be staying for a while.
It would be, yes, long-term, for sure. And like I said, E&L has about 17 to throw in. Moose Alley, our state grant got cut by $40,000 from last year to this year. We do maintain 150 miles of trail, just Moose Alley alone. So when you look at the big picture, our grant we'll call it about $100,000 this year. We had to spend close to 30 on what we call the George and Sue Morris bypass. Stagecoach Road, which ends up taking us to Kingsbury, is earmarked for about another 30,000. So roughly we do have 40, but it's trying to shake out these other bridges, what we can and can't get. Are we going to get all our work done this year? Absolutely not. There's just not enough funding, especially getting cut 40.
But Project 1, you're definitely trying to do this year.
Yes, Trish, what she would like to see is try to get that done sooner than later to get off this hill that we're talking about that's washing out and actually let it set up for a month or 2 and then go on it. Not just hurry up, get it done, let them ride up it, spin the dirt back down, let it set up. And I agree with it. That's the best bet on a new trail, for sure.
And the other 2 projects?
I was going to say, Commissioner Fetkes has his hand up.
Who? Joel. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that guy over there on the TV. To stick to this Project 1, if everything I'm understanding, it's a $60,000 project. We could use TIF funds. I would be in support of a 50-50 match of that $60,000 with TIF out of UT, if that's where we could go, just to sort of cut to the chase on that.
So 30 from the county, Joe?
Yes, from that TIF, from the UT TIF, yeah.
Okay, I hear you. I was going to ask about the other 2 projects as well. Is just what are those 2? I don't want to get into the details of it. Just the time frame of them. So that'd be 2027.
No, I mean not necessarily. No. So the projects 2 and 3, like I said, the bridge. I can show you. Probably get a better idea here. So this also gets us Project 1, 2, and 3 also gets us off Weyerhaeuser logging roads. So the longevity of everything with that is pretty critical as well.
But this Project 1, they want you off this year.
What's that?
But Project 1, they want you off this year.
Project 1, they want us off this year.
Okay.
If Projects 2...
They did.
Project 2 is what we call the Hellhole Bridge. I just want to make sure I'm not misspeaking.
So that picture you're showing, is that?
That's what yes, that's what we call the Hellhole Bridge.
Yeah.
That bridge needs to be totally reset. So when the floods at 23, the Palmer Pond came up and it undermined all the blocking underneath it. So that bridge actually has to get yanked out of there, slid, the blocks reset, and that's a huge connection. So this connection here is to our forks into Greenville. So ultimately, this is like a 4-county, like we are a hub. We really, truly are.
The problem is that no other counties are kicking money in, and that's where
Right.
I'm holding.
Yeah.
So who's the fellow in Franklin? Charlie?
Charlie Woodworth, yeah.
Charlie Woodworth is seeking some funds from the Franklin County Commissioners, especially for Project 1, because that project bears heavily on getting access over Kingfield and Franklin County. So I believe they're meeting.
Yeah, we're definitely lacking in east-west connections in this state. North-south, there's quite a few, but east-west, this is the primary one for Somerset.
Yeah,
Scott, what's a reasonable number? And we can get your stuff done, but not fund it through Somerset County 100%. Give me a reasonable number for your projects.
I'm hearing that Project 1 is, like I said, the problem lies trucking.
I hear you, but what should we expect Franklin County to give? I mean, we're creating a highway.
Right. No, I mean, I'm not disagreeing. As far as, I mean, it would be nice if it was kind of split down the middle. We are. When I say, if you look at the map, the greater map on Project 1, if you go from Oakland, Maine to Jackman, there's nothing. There is so much unorganized territory that is disconnected due to this.
I appreciate that, but as a Somerset County chairman, I don't care if they turn left and go to Franklin County. And they can go to Jackman from Oakland.
Yep.
But you would care if they came from Franklin to Somerset and spent money here. Wouldn't you?
A little, but the most of them are coming from the south.
So I think to try to get where you're going, is the conversations I've had with Chris Martin and Charlie over in Franklin County is they would love to see a 40-20 split. If Somerset paid $40,000 and Franklin chipped in $20,000, they could get this project done. Then projects 2 and 3 would be back to Moose Alley and the other groups to try to raise those funds, and maybe lean over into Piscataquis County and the other counties that are impacted by those other ones.
We do, I mean, we do pull people from Rangeley and Kingfield and Phillips area through that area, through that little narrow section from Kingfield into Lexington County, into Bingham area, and then north. A lot of people, I talked to a lot of people that, when we just had some fundraisers, and a lot of people were asking about how they can get all the way up from Rangeley to Greenville. And so some of these people are staying in hotels, and they're doing 2 or 3 night stays along the way. So it's worth it.
It's my favorite loop on my sled this winter. I did it 3 times, and I saw Scott most of the times at his restaurant. So truly, I am a supporter, but I also know that we've given a lot of money in building these things.
Yeah. I truly think fairness would be, like Tim's saying, probably like a 20-20-20. That we would, between the 2 clubs, we could probably come up with, a third of it.
So Joel's 30 would be okay. Good. I'm good with that.
I mean, we're invested just as much as,
I agree, and you're doing great things.
As far as, it's hard because, like I said, with the KVT being fresh and new, I had a counter on the KVT, I believe it was the first year it opened 2 summers, from the Thursday before Memorial till the Monday after the 4th of July, that beam got broke 187,000 times. Now, yes, it could be up and back, so you could arguably say 90, but then sometimes I was going through it a few times, but still,
it's a lot.
I mean, we are talking, I mean, the biggest parking ride in the state now is in Oakland, Maine, Fairfield Center. I mean, it's the easiest, closest spot to get off the interstate, drop a snowmobile or drop an ATV, and the first thing they're doing is heading north right to us.
Okay.
Like, we live and die by recreation.
I know you do. All right, I'm good.
Okay. We don't have a resolution on that for today. This was a workshop. But we can put a resolution on that for our next meeting, if you wish.
Should we?
Or we can,
I would make a resolution today to give them the $30,000 that Commissioner Steck just said, suggested, so that they may move these projects forward over the summer months.
we have a motion. Is there a second?
All right.
We have a second. Any further discussion on the motion to provide the TIF repairs for ATV and snowmobile trails in Lexington and Concord area?
Yeah, Robert, should we add something in there that it's a match, similar to what we do with other things?
Yeah.
We want the receipts on the other 30, where it's coming from, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Even if it's in part, even if it's in separate pieces.
Yep.
Now, does
Do you want to give them the money up front or wait until they get the matches in?
I'm fine with upfront. I just want to verify it. It will affect the next one they come for.
I'm fine with up front too.
Yeah. And this is coming from Tim, correct?
Yep.
This is 100% TIF.
Yep. Good.
Yeah, I would not like to see it come from community benefit, because the community benefit benefits other communities, and the UT has its own own funds.
All right.
So, any further discussion? The motion as amended.
Yes.
All in favor? So you have some money coming. Well, get the rest. You'll be good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate what you do.
Have a good evening, gentlemen. Thank you.
And now we are going to continue on with workshop number 2, review operations of Somerset Regional Communications Center, the RCC. We have a microphone and a seat for you, all warmed up.
What's that? To have this?
Isn't this to educate commissioners on what?
This is the first in a series.
That's what I told her. She told me.
It's an 8-part series with a cliffhanger at the end.
Oh, see?
Wow. Well, I think just by way of introduction, and Tammy and I have been talking about meetings like this. There was an opportunity for Commissioner Skillings and Commissioner Alsop to actually go and visit the comm center, get kind of an idea of what goes on over there. And we've been talking about workforce issues, operations, standard operating procedures, and policies that surround the comm center. And I think it's probably worthwhile to at least get it started with a conversation with the 3 commissioners that are here now, and just kind of continuing it, because I know that everybody's going to have questions and thoughts and so forth. But I thought just for today we would go through some of the materials that Tammy had provided for your packets. Some of the helpful things for me is just understanding what each of the positions do. When you have staff on shift, you have a position 1, position 2, position 3. It's not just 3 people that are randomly answering phone calls. And the position 1 is staffed with 3 officers, 3 ambulance services, and 16 fire departments. Position 1 is staffed for 10 officers, 1 ambulance service, and 2 fire departments. And then position 3 is staffed for 18 deputies and detectives, 1 ambulance service, and 3 fire departments. So there's a lot going on in each of those, and I'll just let Tammy kind of walk through some of the daily responsibilities that are before all these folks, so everybody can just get a brief idea of what goes on over the comm center. So with that, Tammy, I'll let you talk about the daily dispatch.
Sure. The other piece that Tim included in your packet was like a breakdown of 911 calls for service. That just tries to take and break each section down a little bit more into what we do. So we are a 911 center. We answer about 62 calls a day. We are, when I say in this list that our call volume supports 5 positions, we do have 5 911 positions, but we only staff 3 for 12 hours and 4 for the other 12 hours a day. By the state metrics, we're the busiest 4-person position 911 center, so that's why they moved us into the 5th position. When dispatchers take a 911 call, sometimes they are starting their own ambulance while they're EMDing, because we're required by statute to EMD and EFD, which is pre-arrival medical and fire instructions. And at the same time, they're handling their own radio channels, incoming phone calls. Then it goes down to the call for service numbers. There's also a chart for that as well. One motor vehicle accident is one call for service for law enforcement, fire, and EMS. But for us, it can be 5, 6, 7 additional calls for that one accident. In addition to that accident, we're also calling for the tow. We might be doing the file to bail conditions, ATNs, III back for that one call. There's a whole bunch of other facets that fall into that. Our business lines, in addition to that, June had 6,900 business line calls, which are like 232 a day. In addition to those 911 calls, the radio, Tim kind of broke it down, but during the water rescue on July 4th, that one dispatcher had Fairfield PD, Fairfield Fire, Olive County Fire, Eaton, which is Skowhegan, Madison, and then County Fire North, which would have, Madison, Norwalk, all those channels, and then County EMS. That was one dispatcher that was handling all of those channels at the same time, in addition to answering 911 calls and business line calls. Am I going too fast?
No, but I do have a couple questions.
Let's pause for questions.
One on, I might be jumping ahead, but under radio, it has oncoming 911. I don't know what that means, unless it's a typo.
It was a typo. That was Tim's.
Number of channels?
There goes the boss.
Thank you. We have a review for you later.
No, that was my mistake.
Did you say that was AI?
Yeah.
So
which one was it?
Under radio, the first line is responsible for on top of oncoming 911.
Incoming 911.
Okay.
Yeah, that is my mistake, not Tim's. I don't want to go into night workshops and stuff.
So,
you see the clip?
Okay.
So I just want to go back to the business line calls. How many business line calls in June?
6,960. 4,700 incoming and 2,100 outgoing.
So that's just the regular phone.
Right, and those aren't things that are quantified by calls for service. Those are all those additional things that.
So, when we came and visited,
yes,
I said, that's a stop. We're not the secretary for police departments that don't have secretaries. We're not the secretary for the sheriff. Sorry, sir. Your people are under enough stress to not handle another 6,000 calls a month saying, hello, this isn't an emergency, but how can I help you on top of the emergency part? So I think we need to put other towns on notice. And Commissioner Cezak is here, and I don't know that he even knows this fact, but I learned this when I was at the tour. Fairfield PD, if you go to the Fairfield Police Department and you call them and you walk up to the window and you push the little button, calls them. Correct?
Yeah,
I knew that. Yeah.
That is not the system that we should be encouraging, because your people can't do it. It's not fair for us to ask our employees to do that. That is a town issue that we can't assume as a county. And Fairfield's certainly not the only town. We need to stop that.
Great. But after hours, they don't have anybody.
Again,
Okay.
they have a police force. They have someone there. I
Not necessarily, actually.
Well,
They could be out on patrol, but,
that,
so,
I get it, but these are non-emergency issues. I'm calling to speak to this officer about this case. That can't go through our dispatch people, our people that are on the radio handling emergencies. That needs to go to the towns that are responsible for those people.
I'm going to ask, the nature of 911 is a statewide phone number. And so how are we integrated into the 911 system?
There's a piece that designated by county. There's 3 state agencies as well.
Oh.
But, yeah, so we have all the 911 calls for Somerset County, and we also get Benton. Sometimes it might be overlay on the interstate, so there might be a transfer.
Are you still having issues with 911 calls sometimes coming in from Cape Cod because somebody's using their cell phone?
Yes, it's not all the time, but like VoIP calls in particular, people might have their phone registered in Florida, and then they come back to Maine for the summer, and they're still showing the address, or vice versa. So.
Yeah.
So how do we fix that problem first? Because that's 6,000 calls a month that stop.
The business. I don't think the business can't. Animal complaints still come on the business line.
But they're animal complaints for Skowhegan.
Well, they're for anybody in the county.
I agree. Right. But not necessarily the sheriff's animal complaints. We're talking Fairfield's animal complaints, Pittsfield's animal complaints, Skowhegan's animal complaints, all towns with police departments and animal control officers.
Yes.
How do we message that so that those parties, we have to dispatch for that man. That's our job because we're the county. But we don't have to answer. I mean, we have to do this in the politest fashion, but we can't be the catch-all or the budget saver for every small town that doesn't have this service. To be their secretary, literally their secretary, not 911. This is, I'm totally okay. My house is on fire. My person fell down. Totally okay. I just need to talk to Detective so-and-so because whatever. That's a secretarial issue that should not be going through 911 unless it's for us.
Most citizens know during the day, like Fairfield has a phone tree that hit 806 if you want to speak to this officer or things like that. So it's the after hours for that. But that's still a portion. Some people don't even call 911 for a motor vehicle accident or an assault or a domestic. They call in on the business line. In addition to that, all these calls, when I talk about triple I's or ATNs and things like that, that is a business line call that can't go away because that's a service we provide to law enforcement. They need.
Could you speak into the mic? I
Sure.
have a hard time hearing you.
So the business line calls, they can't all go away. I understand your point about trying to.
Is there any technology out there that would allow an automated service to be the first one to pick up the business line rather than an employee?
There is, but sometimes you will miss pertinent information. Dispatchers have that awareness. Sometimes we've had assaults where people can't talk. You've heard it maybe online where I'm trying to order a pizza when they use that as a cover when they are in danger. I'm not sure how well AI could filter out, do they have a gun, call history when you're talking to people. So
I understand, but the solution can't just be adding personnel and adding to budgets. We need to add technology where we can, where it's pertinent. We need to integrate that to lessen the employee costs, because those are our most expensive costs, and still provide adequate service to areas. Nothing will be 100%, a human or digital. Nothing's going to be 100%. It's doing the best that we can with the resources we have. So I want to help them. I want to alleviate some of the burden. But that doesn't just mean more people. That means better solutions, better systems, less calls, better awareness on what calls go where, more participation from all the towns to take care of their duties. All of those things combined will lessen your burden and make a better day for your employees.
And I understand that, and I appreciate that. Business lines and 911s are just one portion of that. We are still responsible for all those units that are on the other side of the radio. And all that comes with that as well.
And that should be the priority. 100%.
I guess my frustration is that you're collecting phone calls that may not necessarily be needed to go your way, that should be maintained in a local realm, and if there was not a 991 number but a local number, such as like for Fairfield, 3911 or something like that, so that it would go to Fairfield first, to their police station, or Skowhegan's police station. A number of towns don't have police stations, so it would have to go to you.
Right, but the ones that have forces.
Right, and then there's 3, 4.
But Skowhegan,
Pittsfield, Fairfield,
Pittsfield,
Jackman.
I'm guessing is the bulk of.
That's it, 4?
And the sheriff's office are the bulk of your
Yeah.
business calls.
I guess.
There are 4 law enforcement.
I guess the other question is how much traffic do you get from Reddington and from Sebastian hospitals?
Well, Sebastian Valley Hospital used to be a direct tone that we could do from our console. Now it's a phone call because MedCom is now handling their dispatch. So we need to call them to start the ambulance for St. Albans, Heartland area. If we're doing CPR, that's an additional phone call that we need to call back to update them. Delta used to tone direct from our, and now that's a phone call as well.
So can we patch our 911 to them for those calls? Just, here you go, transfer.
No, because we have to keep the level of service that we're providing EMD where it lands, and it lands on us.
If they're contracting with a private service, and we're not collecting a tax dollar from a hospital or from an ambulance service, because they're nonprofit, and we're providing them the service for free, and they're dictating how we provide this service for free, with no compensation and no consideration for the strain that puts on the system, multiple phone calls, and we have to figure out a better way to play this game. A better way to support your people, which is what I want to do, and your department, and remove the unnecessary burdens, whether that is through SOP saying we're not calling these. We don't have the resources to accommodate 16 rescue squads and 14 fire departments and 5 police services in unique fashion. We don't have those resources. We're a small county with a limited budget. So we need to do this process and develop SOPs and say this is the parameters that will provide service. It either fits your program or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, then you can figure out that system. We can't be everything to everyone.
So help me understand Commissioner Skilling's point. Could you, as the RCC, say to Sebastian Valley, this is the way we have to do it? Or do they dictate to you the way they want you to do it? Could you turn around and say, no, we don't do it that way, we'll have to tell them?
We can have that conversation, but they've changed their dispatching to MedCom.
To save money.
Well, it all falls under the Northern Light umbrella.
I understand.
Right.
To save money and place that burden on you.
So there's got to be more than just us that dispatches through the Northern Light system.
Yes, Penobscot uses them.
I'm sorry, can you speak up?
Penobscot uses
Does
SBA as well.
Does Penobscot follow the same
Yes,
pattern, I guess?
yes.
Oh, good, they could use Penobscot then.
Again, I'm not trying to be unreasonable. I'm trying to say we need to support your people. We need to lessen the burden on them because it's an incredibly stressful job, and I appreciate what they do. But we also have to create a framework that allows them that space to be able to do their jobs. And right now, we just keep crushing them because we keep accepting what all of our customer base tells us to accept versus tell them what our product is, and you either buy the product or you make your own product. But this is the only product we can support. We can't support 32 different products for every 32 different departments because it's not cost effective and it's incredibly stressful for you and your people. I will support you to the teeth, but we got to make some changes.
The county isn't your only source of funding, is it?
We are the PSAP for Benton, so we get a small portion answering their 911 calls.
Yeah, but that's because of the Fairfield-Benton.
That's correct.
But there's no federal funds or anything else. It's all county taxpayer dollar.
It's just like any public safety. We're fall into the public safety umbrella.
Right. So they have $5,000 worth of revenue for a $2 million budget.
Right.
So it's all $2 million is all taxpayer dollars.
And that's county taxpayers.
Right.
And if we add staff, what's one dispatcher? 100,000? Benefits all in?
With benefits, 150.
150.
I learned that from that.
That's on a $2 million budget. That's 7.5% increase for one, versus managing the problem. And we need at least two. We need to manage the problem, not increase $300,000 or 15% of our budget. I want to help you, but I want to change expectations.
And again, I understand that, but we still have these other facets of the job that need to be managed that can't still be managed with what we have. If they're just by the radio channels alone, if you look at how many departments one dispatcher is responsible for, in addition to everything else that comes with it, that's a lot for one to be responsible for, not only for what they have to do, but also the liability and responsibility of officer safety. So
6,000 calls a month to your to your business line, not your 911 line.
Correct.
Is 200 phone calls a day. Can you imagine? I can't fathom being that. I mean, I have a small office. If I took 200 phone calls a day, I'd throw my phones right to the window, and I'm actually making the money from that benefit. I can't imagine that. The stress that alone, forget a 911 call. That's just, hello, how you doing? This isn't the old crud line. This is the hello line. It's not manageable. We have to change that expectation. That alone would free up people.
So the business line must be the majority of your calls. Because if it's 7,000 calls a month, if that's average, that's 84,000 calls a year. And your total call list runs between 75 and 85,000 calls a year.
That's right here, Tim. The 911 calls are 62.
But every business line call is not a call for service. They're follow-up calls. They're, hey, the complainant didn't pick up because my number's blocked. Can you call the complainant and let me call in and patch them together because of restricted numbers. It's I need a ATN for this case. I need III for this one. It's all the other, some of the calls for service are included in business line calls, yes. But there's all those secondary calls that come in throughout the day.
If you have someone call the business line and it's an emergency, a 911 version call.
Yes.
Is that in your 62 calls?
No, it's not.
So the 62 was only dialing 911?
That only came into the 911 system.
Okay.
That's 62 calls a day
A day, right here, per day.
on that chart.
Divided by 3, that's reasonable. That's 20 calls a day.
I'm just trying to get a grasp of it. So it's 62 911 calls a day.
Yes.
And in addition to that, there's another 200 calls a day
Yes.
on the business line.
On the business line.
And there's 4 people on?
There's 3 for 12 hours, 4 for the other 12.
So, again, what I'd like to propose to the commissioners is having an ongoing conversation, basically focusing on these 3 sheets that Tammy has provided. Obviously, I don't think we can get through all of it today, but maybe we come back and I'm sure you can provide a little deeper dive into the business line calls. Do you have a way of breaking down the topic of those calls? Or is that done on the overall call list that you would provide here?
The call for service list does not cover all the business line, because some business line calls do not generate a call for service.
Okay.
Some are all those additional calls in to do this or do that, or so, but they're not measured. They're measured in if they associated with a call for service, but not measured.
If I call Sheriff Lancaster's office and want to speak to someone, but I don't know who, so I don't know who to dial, I'm asking this question, not to put him on the spot. If I don't know the number to push, does that come to you, or does someone in Sheriff Lancaster's office answer that? If I answer 0 for the operator, because I don't know who to push, whether it's Dale or the next person, does that come to your office, or does that get answered in his office?
It goes to our lobby.
To your lobby person. Okay, so they're answering their service calls, their regular calls.
Right. We have a lot of service calls for accidents, talk to detectives, talk to deputies.
Yeah, they're calling straight though and talking to you.
Right.
Okay, good.
Well, not to me
Well,
personally.
no, but the appropriate.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So it's not necessarily our sheriff's office with those 6,000 calls, it's the other towns.
Not necessarily, because like I said, a deputy might go to an accident and need a file too. That's a phone call.
Right.
That applies across all law enforcement.
Yeah.
So, and those aren't measured in the calls for service, you see. They are on the business.
I think the commissioner's role in all departments is setting policy. I guess that's probably where I would recommend that we go with these meetings, is to try to determine some recommendations to give to the commissioners on policy. And maybe that's taking a deeper look at the business line. That business line, how it's going to be handled, or how do you communicate to the outside that this is where these calls go and this is where this call goes. I think it's a more complicated issue than can be solved obviously in a half hour. But for the sake of everybody's time, I think.
I agree. Commissioner Stekis is going to strangle me, and quite frankly, I'll probably strangle myself, but is there a service, God, I hate this word, is there a consultant that does this nationally that could come in and help, help you, help us understand, manage, implement something that may help, that isn't, if I'm going to spend $150,000 on an employee, if I can spend $20,000 on a consultant to come in and tell me something that doesn't necessarily net out an employee but helps you, that's money well spent. And I hate consultants, just for the record. Is there a service out there that would come review you and say, we can help you in these areas? Do you know of any?
I know of technology that's being used. It doesn't, you can put a phone tree in, you could put AI, you could put whatever you want. Those calls are still going to come to us. Because if it's an animal complaint, it's going to come to us. If it's a domestic, it's going to come to us. We've had consultants before about across the county. We did one back, 2013, whatever, that overviewed the communication center and how it was functioning. I just don't know. It's a service we provide, and we have a responsibility as well to make sure.
I guess I'm asking directly for you to come to me with a solution that's not just add people. Show me where you're helping us manage budgets by not just adding people to the problem. How are we addressing the problem? Adding people is not going to take this problem away. Adding people is just going to mitigate the problem for the number of people we have. So I want to fix the problem. I want to go to the root cause. The people may end up being the solution somewhat, but there has to be more than one solution in this entire problem. And it's not just personnel. It's policy or procedure or establishing one guideline for everyone. Figure out ways to help your people become more efficient. And I want to support you. And if in the end it comes to people, you'll have my vote. But we have to analyze it all. AI, everything. Where can we implement and make things a little easier? Maybe we hire one and not two. That's still $150,000 savings to the county. Because if we hire someone, it's forever.
We used to have 16, and we went down to 14 with the Kennebec County towns. And as you can see from the calls for service, those are pretty well in line for the last 2 years. Outside of 15,000 that first 6 months, our calls for service have remained that. I have written policy. We have user group meetings as far as controlling radio traffic, limiting that limits the dispatcher having to manage that, same as backfilling motor vehicles, people of that nature. So some of that stuff is already in conversation with our first responders that we work closely with.
I don't know how well you know the Oxford person. Oxford has 65 calls for service a day. They have 14 people.
Right.
What are they doing? Is it something different? Is it the same? Do we have? They're almost identical to our agency. Have we had a discussion with Waterville? Have we had a discussion? I'm just pointing out the ones that are close.
Waldo has 16, and they have less call for volume than we have.
Certainly. There are people that will support that side. There are people that. So are we talking to all of them, or are we just talking to Waldo?
No. We do talk to everybody, but also with those numbers, it is how many radio channels that department has to do. Like you could go to Penobscot and Cumberland County, and one dispatcher only has one radio channel to listen to. That's why a PSAP is a collection of all of those facets that I outlined.
Yep.
It's not strictly 911 calls.
Okay. I'm good for today.
Well, I think we've got some ideas that we can come back to. Do some homework over the next couple of weeks. Just kind of pick up this conversation as we go. And I think it states the obvious, and to your point, Commissioner, when other aspects of law enforcement add personnel, it just adds more work for the comm center. The comm center is the choke point. Everything comes. Skowhegan hires another officer. Skowhegan takes on new fire departments personnel. All that becomes just.
There's two of those. The DA is the other one.
That's right. Oh yeah, law enforcement. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. It's enlightening and it's very helpful. We appreciate it. And that sums it up for the workshops. The new agenda items, commissioners only.
No, sir.
Okay. Administrator's report.
Just a couple of things. I'm doing some final edits on policy review, and I should be able to provide you with a large document for your administrative code.
Oh, boy.
Which contains all of the county's policies. I'm just starting work on reviewing job descriptions, including my own. And then Patrick and I have been taking a look at the close of the fiscal year county budget. It's just a couple of the few things I've been doing.
I was going to ask you a question. I forgot what it was now. Aren't you lucky?
It's this new seat.
That's right. Moving along. Dave, you're right here.
Yeah, I'm handy. Two things I'll mention. Had a meeting with Pike Industries today. We had paving done on Long Falls Dam Road. And in June, they gave me a call and a call saying that they needed more material to meet the specs. The southbound lane on the Long Falls Dam Road takes all water trucks from Poland Springs and all the loaded logging trucks. So they have to put more material into the southbound lane to achieve the 2% flow that is required by our RFP and the contract that we signed. And also, because they had to elevate that side of the road more, they needed more gravel. So they wanted to give us a heads up on what they used, where they used it, why they used it, because the bill is going to come in substantially higher than their quote was. So they came in, they gave me all the information, and they received the okay by both Phil and I to make the changes that they had to make. The other issue is we have a power contract for Mayfield Township that is not going to be renewed by the current contract. And I am in contact with Bright Plantation because we share a salt shed with them. And you need to have one contractor using the salt shed. You can't really split it between two different contractors. So I'm going to be meeting with Bright Plantation's administration board, and we're going to come up with a joint RFP and hire one contractor for both of us. So I'll be meeting with them to get that written and get it put out. We do know of several contractors that are interested in that, which was a concern that I had.
Yeah.
Who was our contractor?
Route 16 up to the Moscow town line, between Abbott and Kingsbury all at one time. Kingsbury dropped out when they got the wind towers. They had a lot more money on hand, so they wanted to do everything on their own. They dropped out of a salt shed too.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember it too. So now it's writing us in the salt shed, and we need to find a contractor to plow the snow. So that's what we're working on. That's it.
Anything else? Yes.
You said you gave permission for the bill, or you
Yes.
listened to them?
They said they needed material.
Well, right.
So we okayed that.
But didn't the RFP state that they had to bring this road to a certain angle and a certain... And shouldn't they have sent an engineer to say,
Well,
we didn't give them the number
We
of...
also put in estimated, we do give them numbers.
We do.
We have an estimated amount. You know, this much gravel for the shoulders, this much asphalt for the gym, and then the paving.
That's
And-
not on them, that's on us. No. All right, we're in. We own it.
Anything else for David? We're all set? Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Finance.
As Tim mentioned, we're getting closer and closer to year end. Good thing is, the numbers that I gave you earlier, we're coming into the general fund currently is about 980,000 favorable. The jail is sitting at roughly 300,000, and the which is the numbers I gave you earlier. So, no big issues yet. I would assume that we're only going to have a few more invoices coming. These should be pretty close to the numbers we had the year.
Any big ones that you're aware of outstanding?
No. The only concern I have, really, is with EMA. Because I entered the invoices roughly 53,000. So if for some reason they don't pay those, that 53,000 actually will hit this year's budget, because it won't go back to last year. So that could be a negative impact in this current year's budget if they don't pay. That's really the only big concern.
Hope you had a good vacation. We missed you at the last meeting.
I did. Now, personal concern is painful.
Anything further?
That's all I have. Any questions?
All set. Joel, nothing?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Christian?
Good afternoon. At the June SCDC board meeting, I think most of you were there. We had Nature Conservancy present pretty colorful dialogue, I think. I haven't heard back from them, so I'm hoping to give a presentation. Tim, you weren't there, were you?
No.
I had a couple of questions, too.
Don't have a few questions and comments. But I caution this is going to be pretty back and forth than it was. So I'm still waiting to get his presentation. It was more of a conversational presentation, so there wasn't a lot of data in that, but we're still working with Sappy and other folks and seeing what can help. At that meeting, we approved up to $85,000 out of the corridor broadband fund to fund some of Amy's communication upgrades, small stuff to towers, and then this morning we just got word back from CMP after 2 years that we can co-locate at the Coburn Mountain facility, which we have, I think, 400 or 500 feet of elevation. So creative things like that, trying to help the county with some offset costs. We also approved West Forks Fire Department radios, and I think that's part of maybe their community benefit requests. Speaking with them, I mentioned that, and I think what they received from the county was to go 100% to the truck now.
Okay.
So they're going to order those and get on that. I am doing my reporting to the state the next few weeks, and then once that's reviewed and completed, we'll receive the next $1.2 million from that broadband fund. With the CDs, the best we can, we pulled out 8 months of expenses and seen honest growth that'll add up. We closed a loan on a new building to be built in downtown Norwalk this morning. Those are Norwalk funds we administer. One building was raised and will be reconstructed. I think it's 2 down from New York.
Which building is that?
It was pretty much in disrepair. I think it's 8 Main Street.
IT for me?
It's an IT company. So they are doing IT for town of Skowhegan, maybe Fairfield now, and a lot of other clients around. So pretty good setup there. And then, Tim, I meant to email you. The Forks Area Trail Club is applying for a state trails grant, and he was hoping to. It's the same project as the CDS, I think. So he already has a letter of support from the county, but I can email you that tomorrow to probably want to just redate it.
Yep.
Okay. So the group here, when we started talking with them, they had really missed the deadline for some state grants, but I think phase 2 and 3, that's what we're trying to get is like, all right, what do you need now? What do you need in 5 years? Because they know sometimes, but they're reactionary too, depending on the weather and stuff like that. So we're really trying to get them to think long term to identify those state and federal grants that might come to the local. So the Forks Club's going for that. I think the Moosa Alley Club should go for it next year. So we're helping that. We do have some corridor funds that we have a line of credit we issued to the Forks Area Trail Club. They do a lot of work. State reimbursement has gone from like 2 to 3 weeks, like 2 to 3 months, and so that line of credit is at 0%. We set it for a 12-month payback, and it provides them the cash to do work like they were just talking about. We don't have much money to continue that, but if the county want to explore something like that we could administer for trail clubs down the road, we'd be happy to. It's really just a cash flow issue for a lot of these clubs. They don't want to borrow the money if they don't have to, but at 0%, better than that. Just wanted to put that out there if you're interested in that down the road. And that's that.
Any conversation with George Walk about the new balance building?
I haven't been part of that conversation in a while. I had a few meetings. Orange Rock folks like to keep close to the chest. We did push New Balance to gift them that building, and there was a big rift between the town and New Balance for sure. We smoothed that over, and pretty blunt, you should just give this back to the town if they want. That's what's probably going to happen. I assume that vote will pass.
Yeah, that's going to vote. That's coming up a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, last thing I was in, they had a construction firm that was looking to do the work and be the investor of workforce housing. I don't know if that's still a component or not, but I can call Richard and see what's going on with that.
I was probably just waiting for the vote.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think that's next Monday.
Thank you. Sheriff.
Adding to Tammy's people's stress, patrol handled over 500 calls for service last week. Extremely busy. Our contract, we all know, we contract 40. We have 48 of their needs, and we budgeted 30 for feds. We're at 32 feds today. Attended a meeting this morning. We're going to move to, it's called the Buddy system for going to change companies' ankle bracelet. I think monitoring. We'll be able to. It'll be a better product, smaller, put on, and this we'll be able to using the Buddy system. Will enhance if someone's drinking. We'll be able to tell if they're drinking, so if they're not in compliance with abstaining from alcohol. And lastly, in my first board of trustees,
Kind of whispered that last bit, so.
Very interesting. Being a member of the board of trustees of the academy.
Yeah. Any questions?
Back to them.
No, we don't have everybody all set. Okay, we will move along to new business then. Resolution 26-124 to approve paying community benefit awards to the following applicants for completion of their matching grant project, St. Albans Housing Corporation generator installation, $15,000.
So moved.
Joel? You're not going to second it? You're seconding it, okay. All right, moving to second. All in favor? Let's go. Resolution 26-125 to approve the commission of Ashley Smith as patrol deputy in the Somerset Sheriff's Office.
So moved.
You are muted if you...
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor? To go. Resolution 26-126 to approve the promotion to sergeant for the following corrections supervisors at Somerset County Jail: Derek McCarthy, Kelly Watson, and Jean Waugh.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Go. Resolution 26-127 to approve the promotion of Peter Moulton to staff sergeant at Somerset County Jail.
So moved.
Second.
Moved to second. Discussion.
Sheriff, is this, is Peter come and gone, and is this the same individual I'm thinking of that used to do programs or something?
He started in programs.
A while ago.
A while ago. Prior to this promotion, he was a corporal on the day shift. Because we've moved to the 2 captain positions, one of those captains was now Captain Brown. She was the staff sergeant that oversees compliance and programs. So he's moving to that position.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Go. Resolution 26-128 to approve the voluntary demotion of Sergeant Lanisha Bush to corporal at the Somerset County Jail.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and second. Discussion? All in favor? That's a go. And Resolution 26-129 to approve the promotion of Stacy Slate to detective with the Somerset Sheriff's Office.
So moved.
We have a motion. Second.
Where is Stacy coming from? Patrol?
Yeah, she was TDY. We were starting to see so we had Jeremy, who used to be our crimes against the persons detective. He moved to the DA's office. We are trying to fill it with our other deputies, and we were starting to get overwhelmed with child sex crimes. So she's had a plethora of training in that. So I TDY'd her to the detective division. We had a promotional. She came out on top, and she will be our primary person for sex offender registry and also sex crimes against persons.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or concerns or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Thank you. It's a go. Resolution 26-130 to authorize a request for proposal for the purchase of 6 police package cruisers for the Somerset Sheriff's Office.
So moved.
Moved and seconded.
Is this in the budget?
Yeah.
So we're in the new fiscal
Just
year.
making sure.
So this is a legitimate question of procedure, right? It's like, we're not asking you to spend $1 million that you don't have. So we're in the new fiscal year. This allows us to get your authorization to put out the RFPs, and we'll get them when we get them. But we have approval at the budget for 6 new cruisers to come in this year. 3 of them we probably need yesterday.
So this is approving the RFP, not the purchase.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are these Tahoes?
Does it say Tahoes?
No. Could be Chargers, huh?
Could be.
Red eyes?
They're going to be Honda Metropolitan scooters.
One helicopter solves 6 problems.
Okay. And is there any further discussion regarding the RFP? All in favor? Yes. Any opposed? 1 opposition. 2-1. Joel is against.
Joel, you're opposed to the
RFP.
I am not against.
He is for.
You're for it or against? Okay. I think your screen froze up on me and I was misreading it.
Maybe a little delay.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate it. So that's a go. Resolution 26-131 to authorize a request for proposal for the purchase of a transport vehicle for the Somerset County Jail.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Discussion?
Second.
All in favor?
The vehicle we're looking to replace is a 2013 that has close to $200,000.
All right, I'm going to give you credit on this one.
And we had to almost tow it from the academy.
Perfect.
We've already passed Resolution 26-132 earlier, so we're on Resolution 26-133 to approve the Treasurer's warrant for General Fund, Somerset County Jail, Unorganized Territory, TIF tax revenue, and TIF community benefit for a total of for the five. Okay, so moved as written. Second. Thank you. Discussion? All in favor? It's a go. Miscellaneous discussion items, commissioners only. Joel? No. I have one card of thanks for the Somerset County Commissioners for the funding of the slalom gates at the gorge from the Main Street, Skowhegan. So there's a card. Nice, thank you. I know we appreciate that communications from our people out there. And recess to execute documents.
Are we going to skip the last?
We're going to skip the executive session for now.
There's no appetite nor interest for the executive session.
We want to have everybody here.
We will leave the reins off of you.
Yes. This gives us time to sharpen.
That's something you said. You said.
Oh, this only gives us time to sharpen our knives.
Cool. Thank you all.
Thank you. We are signing the paper. What? There's a lot of stuff here.
So, yes.